So this is a follow-up from my last video, actually, man. If you remember what that video was about, it was pretty heavy. But apparently there was a whole video production consisting of the investigation of a network of men whom are husbands or boyfriends even, that are on this group that either inquire about ways to drug and assault their wives or significant others, or they brag about it. I think they had, I forgot the number of men that were in the group. It was either thousands or in the tens of thousands. I can't recall, man. But the fact that there's even more than one of these demons out here doing this is crazy, bro. But CNN has been investigating it for quite some time, looks like, and they put together a video from the investigation. So that's what I want to tap into. You know, it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? Viewers' discretion is advised, but this is something that needs to be discussed because it's clearly not being discussed enough. Clearly not being discussed enough. It's incredible, bro. It's incredible that something like this is happening. But yeah, the vast network of men drugging and their wives. Psychotic, bro. Anyway, let's get it.
We've been messaging for months, this man and I.
I'm tempted to put my woman to sleep again, paralyze her, and record everything. Oh, and then they may disclose it in this video, man, but they were pretending to be a member of the group talking to this dude named Peter who is involved in the nonsense, bro.
But he doesn't know who I am because I've been undercover posing as a man.
There you go.
2 years ago, the world was shocked by the case of Dominic Pelicot,
Pelicot admitted to recruiting
enlisting other
a French man who drugged his wife and invited dozens to rape her. For almost a decade, he secretly dosed her drinks and assaulted her.
That makes no sense. There needs to be I'm sure there is a diagnosis for that outside of just being insane, evil, or whatever, man. But it's got to be like a literal scientific term for whatever that disorder is, bro. Because why on earth would any man marry a woman to harm her in that way and invite others to ravage her? And I'm sure recorded as well, bro. Right? It's like, you know, cuckery is one thing, man, but to do it when your woman isn't even conscious or aware of what's going on, bro.
Long investigation has revealed he was far from unique.
These communities exist and continue to feed off what happened to you.
Pelicot is not an outlier.
And it makes me think of that girl who just, I think she was in Italy or something. Something happened to her, similar circumstances, right, where she was assaulted by men, and it messed her up in the head, and she ended up deleting herself from it, bro.
A 25-year-old woman has died by euthanasia in Spain after winning a legal battle against her father, who tried to stop her. Noelia Castillo was left paraplegic after trying to take her own life in 2022. She said she had a difficult childhood, much of which she spent in care, and that later in life she was sexually abused multiple times. First by her ex-boyfriend while she slept, and separately by a group of men in a nightclub. Noelia said that she always felt alone and that she just wanted to leave in peace and stop the pain.
And to know that your husband is the source of it.
using our son's sleeping medication.
He's been drugged.
The bedroom isn't safe.
Yeah, we
The
covered
bed
these
is
too.
not safe.
We infiltrated a vast international network hiding in plain sight. And it led us to the same room. Vast international network hiding in plain sight.
I understand I should experiment, start off with, and see how she reacts.
And it led us to the same
Who has experienced drugging their wives? How do they do it?
room as a man who said he was drugging and raping his wife.
We think he's going to be at this restaurant nearby. I think I'll be able to pick him out. But it is going to be quite unnerving being in the same room as him.
That's him. I recognize him.
Emergency.
Borderline connecting.
Go ahead, caller. What's your emergency? I've just heard from my daughter. She's on her own in a house with 4 children and has just learned she's been drugged with her son's sleeping medicine.
We worry about who's coming behind us, walking down the street. We worry about going to our car late at night, but we don't worry about who we lie next to. I didn't realise I had to.
Zoe Watts may never know if the videos her husband made of her being raped were ever uploaded online. That huge numbers of videos are being posted by users who claim it's non-consensual. One website profiting from this is motherless.com. Last year, we began investigating a site that gets over 60 million visits a month, focusing on the thousands of videos featuring women who appear unconscious during sex acts. It's home
60 million people that want to watch that. That's insane, bro. That's insane, man.
to over 20,000 videos of so-called sleep content with hundreds of thousands of views. One popular hashtag is iCheck, a way of proving a woman is asleep. We created a fake name and soon got into a private Telegram group that's dedicated to sharing sleep content with almost 1,000 members.
So some person will say, oh, I'm thinking about drugging my wife tonight. Someone is like, great idea, you should give her this.
The Telegram conversation makes it real. It feels like it's all happening there, and that you're fearful of someone actually turning on their webcam and showing you, you know, their wife there and then.
Survivors of these assaults, like Zoe, often spend months.
This is my second time covering it, dog, but I can't fathom it. Just like I'm sure y'all can't fathom it, bro. A lot of y'all probably didn't think it's real. You gotta question everything, dog. What? That's crazy, bruh. A husband's, dog. A husband's, bruh. Yeah. Hashtag wood chipper, bro. That's what all these fools need. Wood chipper. Throw all these fucking idiots in the wood chipper, bro. It's crazy.
Or years trying to rationalize what's happening to them. She met her husband when she was 17. He's now serving 11 years for rape, sexual assault by penetration, and drugging.
On the face of it, and certainly to the public, he did seem Mr. Perfect, but there was an undercurrent throughout the marriage.
She had no reason to suspect that he'd been raping her for what she now believes was 10 years. Then one Sunday,
It don't
after
make no
church,
sense, though. I can't wait till they interview one of these fools and get into their head and figure out, you know, why they doing what they doing, because literally it makes no sense. It's your wife, bro. She's gonna want it, bro. Maybe that's the thing you wanna. I don't know, bro. I'm lost in thought with that one, bro. Why would you need to take something from someone who wants to volunteer it to you anyway? It's fucking.
Confessed to crushing pills into her drink.
He reeled off a list of his wrongdoings to me as if it was, you know, a shopping list. I've done this, and this. I've been using our son's sleeping medication to put in your last cup of tea at night to tie you down, take photographs and rape you. And I think I just went into shock. I became ill, very ill.
I'm sure.
And had lost weight and couldn't really leave the house. I found it. I don't think I knew how to be around people at that time because I felt so broken.
Zoe kept the abuse secret for a few months as she grappled with what had happened to her, speaking out only after a severe panic attack. Her mother then called the police.
There were some times that I thought, you know, this isn't right. But what would it mean? What would our family look like? Their children would be without a dad, and there would be a reputation, and my boys would grow up having a reputation, and they'd know what their dad was doing.
I've noticed you haven't used the word a lot.
No.
Tell me why.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It's like one of those things, really. I struggle with that, to say that that's what's happened. It's like people can say it to me, but I just don't think. Whew.
You know you're not alone.
Yeah. Yeah, sadly.
We messaged with multiple users across the US, the UK, France, Brazil, and beyond, who mostly communicated in English. I connected on Motherless with a user who was selling liquid sedatives. Over Telegram, he told me he was running a business, shipping it worldwide. A bottle costs $175.
He's just answered. There's no taste in it, and your wife will not feel anything and will not remember anything. Now he gives instructions on how to use it.
One day, a man in the group we're calling Piotr, not his real name, asked, "Is anyone awake?" I replied, and soon he DM'd me.
It's crazy, bruh.
Without encouraging him, I tried to find out how he was managing to do this. Who was he? Where was he? As he continued
Choosing words wisely, otherwise your ass can be an accomplice.
to share his experience with me, hundreds of users in the group were also coaching one another on how to sedate their partners. Liquids, pills, step-by-step
Fucking
instructions
nuts,
from
dog.
dozens of drugs to exact dosages were all in the chat. Many of them everyday medicines. Even when women come forward, proving it can be nearly impossible.
'Cause it's your
Some
fucking
drugs leave the
husband.
body within 12 hours. Survivors often only realize much later what happened. And even with the courage to speak out, there are still countless roadblocks when it comes to reporting to police or bringing a legal case. Amanda Stanhope didn't know her partner had been abusing her for 5 years.
What were some of the physical signs?
I'd wake up on a towel that wasn't there when I went to bed, and sometimes I'd go to bed with, I'd remember wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and they wouldn't be there when I woke up the next morning. I often found lots of bruises on my body that hadn't been there previously.
Her former partner was charged with multiple counts of rape and sexual assault.
The police had to look through all these videos.
And what did they make of them?
The one where I was absolutely horrified, and he'd performed a sexual act on my face whilst I was unconscious, and it was completely clear. And the police looked at this one, and I thought, there's the evidence. And the police said to me, well, we can't use that. That isn't clear evidence because it looks like you're pretending to be asleep.
In England, where survivors Amanda and Zoe live, nearly a quarter of sexual assault victims are assaulted while unconscious or asleep, and that number has risen over the last decade. Amanda's ex took his own life before the case could go to court.
Good, bitch.
She's still piecing her life back together, and the shock of learning about group chats where this kind of abuse continues hasn't faded.
Instantly, my whole body goes and my hands start shaking. I don't even have a word for it. That it's being glorified, and men are teaching others how to do this, and they're doing this to the people they say they love. It's beyond evil.
While survivors may not remember the videos being filmed, men in the Telegram groups we tracked are making money from them, selling clips and live streams for as little as $20. You're hearing a woman snoring in a clip from a live stream advertised in this group as a way to entice users to pay for more. The user claimed it was his wife who was asleep and who he was about to rape. Processing this kind of material raises a nearly unanswerable question.
Why?
Why do some men encourage these crimes while others go on to commit them? A psychologist who assessed dozens of the defendants in the Pelicot case thinks they were motivated by fantasies of domination, fueled by a culture that to this day treats many women as objects to be controlled.
trying to work that out in my mind. Because you got women and wives that will welcome you dominating them, man. A lot of women want you to dominate them, but there's definitely a spectrum to dominating. You know what I mean? There's regular sweet submission and then this fucking crazy shit, dog. But just never know. You will. I mean, I'm conflicted saying that, bro, because regardless of the amount of people involved in this, dog, it's a very small percentage compared to the general population that are in relationships, especially marriages with people. Most people do not need to worry about that, but just the mere fact that you have people out here that exist in this manner, bro, is psychotic, bro. It's psychotic. You know what I mean? But, this real talk, like, men and women, even though women are being victimized here, man, the majority of the time when people are victimized in relationships, it tends to be the significant other, right? Just never know what the fuck they're gonna do or what the fuck they up to, man. You trust them with your life and vice versa, and they the main proponents of victimizing you in the worst way. In the worst way, man. It's like an impossible situation. I couldn't imagine what it would be like in those women's shoes, finding this out, right? But then, you know what I'm saying, that's your husband, it's the father of your child. It's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be affected by this negatively, man. I know that crosses a lot of these women's minds, right? That's why a lot of women, stay in terrible situations due to variables such as that. A lot of women, especially in the past, bro, will suffer because of situations like this, man. So, I'd imagine all these women, well, clearly they spoke out at some point because they're on the documentary, man. But, that'll take a lot of guts, a lot of nuts, a lot of self-talk to, even come out publicly with that, man. Because you don't want to be aligned. I'm imagining how that would feel to know the person that you selected to be your spouse, to be the one you trust your life to, was the absolute worst decision, was the absolute worst selection. So then you beat yourself up about it, about, your poor selection in a man. All right, but if they done the most to hide who they truly are, you really have no choice in the matter. Right? It's fucked up, bro. It's fucked up, dog. These women marry monsters. And when men marry monsters, bro. But when people marry monsters or be with monsters, period, dog. But you can't get much more of a monster than this, bro. Outside of killing somebody, this is as worse as it gets.
The immense trauma can leave survivors feeling like their identity has all but vanished.
Facts.
With what remains of it shaped only by the abuse. Rebuilding trust in themselves and others is a long road.
Allora, all'inizio del video io sdraiata sul divano, già incosciente, e lui con questo bicchierino di Montenegro mette una siringa dentro, aspira e me la mette in bocca. Avrà fatto per una ventina di volte. Le persone più subdole sono quelle più vicine a te.
That's true, some, but some insinuates that it's more than a few. I don't want to put that message out there, man, because people got to worry about enough getting involved with people and relationships and whatnot. There's so many obstacles and barriers and walls that perpetuate the divisiveness amongst everybody, let alone just men and women, bro. And you get this narrative out there where, this minute percentage of men may end up with a woman someday. There's bad that comes with good, man. You have to worry about things regardless of what the fuck you do, man. You know what I mean? When you involve yourself with somebody else, there's risk involved, man. And sometimes it's the worst risk ever. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do your best to screen, right? But even then, it may not be enough, man. But I don't want people to get discouraged out here, right? Especially women, bro. Because women out here are already thinking all men is monsters, where they out here want to pick a bear over a fucking man because they allow, the acts of a few monsters to generalize all men as monsters, dog. And that's It's not true. It's not true at all. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the majority of men that come across these stories would love to get their hands around these monsters' necks. The majority of men would disagree with it, right? But the irony in that is that all men get generalized as these monsters because select few of men decide to do the most grotesque things, right? But that tends to be the dynamic in everything, right? You know what I'm saying? When some people run into very, very harsh, devastating issues with a small percentage of a said group, that whole group gets brushed as, evil, right? Same thing with like police. All police get painted as fucking slave catchers and racists and, just bad cops, when the majority of cops are excellent cops. They're good people. Goes with anything, dog. You get bit by one dog, now you hate all dogs. You know what I'm saying? One woman breaks your heart, now you hate all women. You know what I mean? Can't be like that.
Non ti puoi veramente fidare di nessuno. Secondo me è stato autodidatta proprio. Si è informato tramite internet.
Valentina is a mother of 2 who asked us not to use her real name. We've distorted her.
Doing that to the mother of your kids too, bruh. Doing that shit to the mother of your kids, dog. Well, these motherfuckers are not human. They're not human, bro. They're not human, right? They're fucking shit.
A voice to protect her identity. Her husband was sentenced to 8 years in prison for multiple aggravated sexual assaults.
That's it.
Per quanto tu possa essere menefreghista, sei sempre lì a lato. Basta un letto, basta una telecamera, un profumo differente che da quel giorno lì sicuramente è cambiato anche qualcosa in me.
It's so weird because then it's like all you need to do, I'd imagine, is just wake your wife up, tell her what you want to do, right? You know what I'm saying? I want to get to it, I want to do this, do that, this, turn the camera on. They all gonna be down. That's your wife, bruh, right? Unless she just don't know this side of you at all. You just, showing her a whole new different person, man. But then that shit may be a positive thing in a relationship too. It may bring y'all motherfuckers closer. But these fools want to be monsters while she in the dark, bro. Man, I bet she get down for you to be a monster when she's awake, right? Little role play don't never hurt nobody, dog. This shit crazy.
Quanto io possa essere magari felice, sorridente fuori, poi torno a casa e devo comunque fare amicizia con i miei incubi che sono sempre dietro la porta.
While talking to survivors, the man I was DMing continued to message and send me videos. The next day, Piotr wrote that he hadn't put his wife to sleep in some time, as the doctor didn't want to prescribe any more sleeping pills, but he continued to send photos. We don't know when they were taken.
It's made me even more determined to try and meet him, to get him in person. So I'm going to send him a message now, and I'm going to see if he would meet with us.
By now, we'd worked out he was in Poland, and we knew roughly where he lived, but he refused to meet. And then, a tip. He let slip that he was planning to attend a party.
What do? Do you get the police involved? Like, what the fuck? He need to go to jail.
So we're inside the restaurant, and I've just seen him dancing with her. And at the start of this investigation, all of these men were faceless. And so seeing him tonight has just really brought home the fact that this is happening.
Why are you blinking out his fucking face?
The man.
Why are you blinking out the monster's face, bro? Show the world, dog.
Been messaging me day and night was only a few feet away, oblivious. I'd come to see if he was real, and there he was with his wife. The same people I saw in the videos. We couldn't approach Piotr's wife without potentially putting her in danger, so we reached out to police about our findings.
There you go.
The Telegram group we infiltrated eventually disappeared, but it's a pattern authorities know well. One goes offline, another soon resurfaces.
Yep.
We reached out to both Motherless and Telegram, but did not receive a response.
Of course you would.
As campaigns by German journalists to shut down Motherless and strengthen moderation on similar platforms continue, videos of women who appeared to be abused while unconscious are still being uploaded, and US safe harbor laws largely protect the site from liability. In the end, it all comes back to Giselle Pelicot. With astonishing dignity, she has taken hold of her own harrowing experience. In reporting this case, we've spoken to multiple survivors who say they were drugged and raped by their husbands, and many of them see you as a source of strength. With your permission, I'd like to read you some of the messages that these survivors have sent to me to read to you. One survivor, her name is Amanda Stanhope, she lives in Wigan. Her strength inspired me to speak out. She broke the silence and shame, so many survivors are forever grateful to her. I'd love to say thank you. If she can do it, then so can I.
Ça me fait pleurer. Ah, c'est magnifique. C'est des témoignages qui me bouleversent, bien sûr. Mais c'est beau de se dire qu'elles ont trouvé cette force. Et tu sais, j'ai pu leur transmettre cela, c'est gagné. Parce qu'il faut en effet qu'on soit solidaire de tout ce qui se passe. Parce que si on reste dans son coin, on ne fera jamais évoluer les consciences. Et je dis bravo, mesdames, bravo. N'ayez pas honte de l'avoir fait. Il faut que toutes les femmes puissent faire cette démarche, même si c'est très difficile, même si c'est très compliqué dans leur tête. Mais elles vont y arriver. Il faut du temps. Ça peut demander des mois, des jours, peut-être même des années, mais elles finiront par y arriver.
Giselle says men can be allies and still believes society can change. But for those who... Giselle says men can be allies and still believes society can change.
See that? That's crazy. Still believes men can be allies. Right? Which makes sense that her whole perception of men is twisted. Right? It makes sense. But that's just damning. Damning. But that's going to require a lot of self-work on her behalf and any victim. Right? It goes to the territory. When somebody from a certain group does some bad shit to you, you're going to associate that shit with everybody that looks that way. Right? But men are going to be your best allies in this situation, man, because we're the ones that can actually enforce shit. We're the ones that can actually put hands on. We can put foot to ass, right? We can provide security, you know what I mean? But it's on us to show ourselves to these women as allies, bro, because that's what we do. We protect, bro. We protect the vulnerable, you know what I mean? We got to take it upon ourselves to let these women know that we out here, bro. We out here, because most men is not going to allow no shit like that to go down. Well, I mean, damn, I keep forgetting where we are right now, what times we are in right now, man, because that statement can definitely be viewed as flawed given the types of things that have been allowed to happen with men around. You know what I mean? Where, you know, you used to would expect the majority of men to step up in certain situations, right? You know, old girl getting stabbed up on that damn train and all the men just sitting around twiddling their damn thumbs. Men not stepping up tends to happen a whole lot more, man, because we have a lot of issues with men today, right? Which is why it's even more paramount that the men that are walking the right path and see the world the right way and want to protect those that need it will make it abundantly clear that, yeah, we out here and you can rely on us. You know what I mean? Because that's a nasty label to have as a man, to think that we're all liable to do some shit like that when it could not be the furthest from the truth. I know men is fucked up, but men ain't that damn fucked up for most men to even consider doing something like that, period, to anybody, let alone their wife or their girl.
But for those who think they're immune, she has a warning.
Je dirais, messieurs, pensez à votre mère, pensez à votre sœur, pensez à votre fille quand vous faites ça. Est-ce qu'il y a un moment où vous allez vous dire que ce que je suis en train de faire, c'est vraiment un acte criminel? Et de dire, faites bien attention, parce qu'un jour, vous serez peut-être, on va vous surprendre. Peut-être que les compagnes lesquelles vous les soumettez, un jour vont se réveiller et elles pourront dénoncer.
It's crazy. It's crazy.